Hello, this is Binni here. Can you hear me and see my screen? We have both streaming in YouTube and as well as in Zoom. For those in YouTube, let me know whether you can see me and hear me well. That's good. All right, so this is probably the last public, or rather I think not probably this is the last public session that we have in December. After that, as usual, we are going on a a retreat, leave, or whatever that we have always at the end of the year. All right, so I'm going starting from 14th of December, going on a holiday leave, and then be back for Christmas, and then after that heading off again. But again, I will still be running some of the sessions, especially for my dear students, because today I just confessed that I really love to talk to them. All right, so let's get started for the market outlook, and it's initiated by us because usually I will tend to do a market outlook at the end of the year or at the start of the year, and perhaps maybe we will be doing another one more at the start of next year. Let's see. But we do have very important announcement to announce today, and as well as a lot more things to share with you guys, and hopefully whatever that I'm going to share is going to be useful. Okay, so do let me know if you do have any questions, both in YouTube and in Zoom. Okay, and as usual, the disclaimer is that whatever that's being said today would be educational, no financial advice. If there's any questions that I cannot answer, it means that they might be into the financial advice, and this is something which I am not able to do so, not able to provide. So do regard whatever that's being said here as education, training material. All right, we're gonna do a very short recap in the 2025, because I don't think that you want to do recap. But I think that looking at 2025, it's very useful for us going forward. So we're probably going to do a 2026 themes, but my stand is that no matter what market outlook it is, it does change. So nobody expected Trump in April to smash the market, and after that, to recover. But whatever it is, as long as you are in the market, you have the tools, and I think that you can benefit from the market. Okay, but one very important thing is under development, under this SaaS income. So this is something that I learned, SaaS income, from my children. But I thought that the kids are like so having all these terminology that I don't understand, but I'm just gonna import that to today and to talk about SaaS income. And to me, my definition of SaaS income, there will be sustainable income. Okay, so let's talk about that later on. All right, my name is Binni here, and in case that you wonder why I'm not showing my face, that's because I've just showered and I'm in my pajamas, and I thought that it would be good to see my face. I don't really change, I don't think so, from this photo here, as far as what I think. Probably the hair is a little bit longer, but the shape and everything, I think I'm proud to say, still the same. Yeah, I think still the same. I've been exercising really very intensively after my PSLE, because as the students would know, during PSLE I put on some weight, but then now I've probably just lost it already. I do quite a lot of instruments, whether it's Forex, stocks, indices, and I talk to my students a lot on stocks as well. So they do ask me on Singapore, Hong Kong, and US stocks. And today I want to focus a little bit more on the US, partly because of the new announcement or new development that we are moving in 2024. Well, you can follow me in YouTube, or if you can, do click in YouTube. Click right now, either the thumbs up button or either the love button, so that more people can join this session, and I hope that it's going to be useful to them. Okay, so shall we do that? Click the thumbs up button or click the love button, okay, in the YouTube streaming. let's do it. Thank you very much. All right, 2025 to 2026. Are you looking forward to 2026? I am looking very much forward to 2026 because it's a huge jump in terms of my life profile. Okay, so it's a nice number for me, and I think that going forward it would be again a lot more nicer. Well, I just wanted to give this summary a little bit here, which is that April 2025 was expectedly. Why I use the word expectedly, right? It was because it was triggered April 25, right? Can you remember what happened during April 2025? There was a huge drop, right? And what triggered that huge drop? Trump. And what did he do? Well, he said the same thing. He threatened, or rather he really acted that on the tariff to the world and in China, and that crippled the stock market, but that also provided a very a good chance on hindsight, the way that we look at it, all right, to buy into equities or a lot of other instruments. Well, I won't say it was on the high side, because I remember during that point of time when STI was 3,400 plus minus. I talk about STI in my sessions, and one of the things I talk about was ES3, which is the ETF, exchange traded funds of Straits Times Index, and that ES3 pays about 4 plus to 5% at that point of time, and ES3 has a huge drop. All right, if you look at 3,004 right now to STI at 4,005. Okay, so this is a chart of STI at 4,005, which is here, and where was 3,004? Okay, so this was 3,004, and at 3,004 we had a bullish signal in STI. If you can see this whatever round circle that called up bull, and that was our bullish signal. So that was a very nice recovery. Okay, and if you can take a look at a lot of other stocks, right? And if you do have our indicator, which is called TED in TradingView, you'll be able to see that at that point of time, even after April, somewhere even under June, July, where the stock market starts to recover, there was bullish signal for us. So in fact, that for Google, all right, that was the bullish signal, and so far all it does was to just move up. Okay, so that was at that point of time what happened, and then you say, oh yeah, if I know that I should buy, then I will be making a lot of money. Okay, so actually nobody knows whether it's a good opportunity to buy or not, right? We react to it. Okay, we look at the price movement, we look at what happens, and then when there's a signal, then we act on it, and that was our signal at that point of time. Okay, so that was 2025. Now in 2025, or maybe 2024, or slightly after COVID, and I'm not sure whether you still remember COVID or not, or this is a very strange term. I'm not sure, but sometimes when I mention COVID, I had mixed feeling that I sort of like cannot remember what happened during COVID time. Was it the fogging? But what I did was to make full use of the theme in 2025, and in this presentation you find that there's a lot of AI in it. Okay, there's really a lot of AI in it. Wow, in fact that this particular statement here, 2026, looks like a year of proof, not promises. AI must deliver earnings, rate cuts must materialize, and manage concentration, not just chase it. Doesn't seem to come from Binni. It's from AI. So a lot of time that when my staff wrote things like that, I said, oh my gosh, this is so AI. Yeah, I make full use of AI, and well, it makes sense So again, that there are people talking about, okay, 2026 we should avoid the US market because that's overvaluation. If we avoid the US market, where are we going to park our money? That's really the big question here. Okay, and AI must deliver earnings. Of course, it must deliver earnings, right? And rate cuts is something that we need to emphasize on, but not only rate cuts. Rate cuts depends very much on whether Trump gets his way to appoint Fed chief and whether that Fed chief can listen to him, and that there's a lot of factors to it, and as well as it's not only about US having rate cuts. I think the US will have to watch the world, because US is not the big brother that we know of right now. In the past, it was Big Brother, but right now, I think that it has to really watch the rest of the world. And manage concentration means that if you realize what happened in 2025 or 2024, only a few stocks went up, and that few stocks push the index. So this is what it means by manage concentration. It might not be that we have just a few stocks that work wonderful, okay? So we really have to plan our ways. So in other words, it's the same thing, right? You just have to be careful. So that's what the AI say, and actually I don't agree with it, okay? I think that in terms of my personal view, the market continues to be very exciting. The market continues to give ample opportunity. It's all about whether on how we find it. Although I do agree that having correction, that means that if there should be correction, it's painful, but it also allows others who hasn't had a chance to enter into the trades. And here we're gonna do, I realized that I spelled crypto wrongly, pardon from that. But this is where we have the first instrument that corrected. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna switch between presentation, the PowerPoint, and then into the charts itself. Okay, just to confirm that you are able to see my charts. Okay, I mean as in the slide, I mean, not the slides, but the price charts. Okay, now so this is the price chart of BTC, and for those who are my students, you shouldn't be surprised, because it's not the first time that I talk about BTC. It's not the first time that I highlighted the levels of BTC, and the key level is around 72,500. Okay, I just give you a little bit of a context here on why BTC drops around this place here. Now, because BTC had this base building, and you know that in 2025, this year, I kept talking about a base building with a little bit of a cup. So this cup and handle pattern, which is this cup and this handle, became very popular, and especially after I launched the new TAD. Okay, so new TAD most of the time will point to a buy signal or a sell signal after it's moved down for a while, or after it moved up for a while. In fact, that in a weekly chart for BTC, our buy signal, all right, for BTC came around the 65,000 region. Okay, so that's the 65,000. But what I wanted to talk about is that the market, especially for the crypto market, they are very technical. They definitely follow some form of algo. I mean, right now, it's AI inside already, right? So they do follow some form of a alien movement inside. And this way of doing so, like this, to measure the depth of the cup, okay, can provide a bit of a perspective to tell us about the profit target. So usually if there is a breakout of this cup here, and then followed by a handle, this will be the breakout point, right? So what we will do is that, what I will do, right, is that I will measure the depth of the cup, and then point the depth of the cup, right, to the breakout point to predict a possible, profit target. That's usually how it's being done, right? So I'm just gonna measure the depth, right, of the cup on a more conservative level, because this one is a bit higher than this one here. So I'm just going to take a bit of a conservative level here, all right, and then project that to the high of the conservative high, all right, and that's where we came to the price of around 122,500. So this is exactly around that level here, where it sort of predicted the high of BTC. Okay, and then after it dropped afterwards, right, it just plunged from 122, and is right now trading about 90. And the question is that if you do believe in TET, okay, the calculated value, all right, of a stronger support, or rather the measured profit of TET, right, not measured profit, but the measured level of TET, it's about 72,500. And unfortunately, if price doesn't stop at 72,500, it means that this uptrend that we have seen in BTC is likely going to change. Okay, so we had a green bar here from TET, and that is the trend bar, and this trend bar shows that in this time frame, which is weekly chart, it's in an uptrend, and this is the last price to show that this uptrend is valid. Okay, so this has been always something that I'm talking about. I've been ever since that BTC dropped from 100,000, I've been talking about 72,500 for those who are new to us. Okay, so this is the number that you want to take note of, right? Now, so this is a day chart, and it's very, very interesting because we talk about it, right? We talk about the movement of BTC, and even though there was a little bit of a small bullish signal, I kept saying that BTC it's in a downtrend, and that's the downtrend, and this is the predicted price level of that resistance level. Okay, now again, that if you are new to TET, this level here, it is predictive. That means that we all knew, just to roll back one time, okay, because the rollback just take a bit of a time, right? So that means that when it was here, I mean, when price was here, or even when price was here, all right, we already knew that this level, which is 94678, right, it's going to be the final resistance level, retracement level of this downtrend here. And if price should get resisted here, it's not surprising, because then it just fit that downtrend, right? But if it should just move above it, and that's where you would say that this down move of BTC is gone, right? But because we have a long-term prediction of 72,500, so this level here became a very, very important resistance level. In fact, that you see today, right? You know, the high point here went to how much? 94,614. 94,614, right? 94,614 was the highest point here, and we predicted 94,678. It's very, very, very near prediction. Okay, so again, that BTC is still making that lower high thing, okay, and it's part of this prediction. So I'm not surprised that eventually you might just go down to even hit that level here, and we're going to see what happened. Okay, that's so far the view of BTC. But again, okay, if you take a look at the bigger trend, right? Again, I'm not able to tell you what's going to happen at 72,500 because it's not there yet. I have not seen that. But why this level, it's going to be a magnetic level, it's very clear, right? It's because this was that breakout point technically, okay, before it moved to 120,000. All right, price has been consolidating around this level, and this level was that previous historical high, okay, and it broke, and that in turn, right now becomes a very, very important price level to watch. So we're going to see what happened at this level here. All right, but for now, I'm not too bullish about BTC. Okay, any questions at this moment before I move on? I won't be covering the other crypto instruments because today it's going to be quite heavy, so I won't be covering unless you do have a lot of questions to ask me. Okay, if not, let's continue to move on. Wait, let me just find my office. Okay, here we go. All right, if no questions, let me just move on to the FX side, right? FX. So okay, anyway, now it's so easy to do. I will come to the REITs. I'll come to Singapore markets and the REITs later on. Now, so it's so easy to do market outlook, because you just, what is the market outlook of Forex 2026? And the AI will tell you. Yeah, right. So I it's amazing, all right. But what I want to show you is this is an AI answer. Okay, that's why I say this year, right, of market outlook, I have adopted, and very much the AI stand, right. So it said Fed expected to continue moderate rate cuts as inflation stays contained, milder, weaker. Blah, blah, blah. That was exactly what's being said. Okay, but it's not wrong. Okay, it's not wrong, right? Because we are not expecting a very steep rate cut. I think so. Even until now, right, where later on we're gonna have the FOMC. Still, the market is thinking that there might be a pause, or that next year, which is 2026, right, the inflation is still going to be very sticky, and it's very difficult for Fed to cut. So there's a strong balance between what Trump wants versus the actual reality. Okay, so my own expectation is, at the end of the day, is to still have a look into the dollar, and I believe that the dollar, all right, is going to give a lot more clues to about the rate cut. Okay, that means that what I'm trying to say is this: there will be a lot of noises. That means that the news will say this, Trump will say this, the Fed chief will say this, right? Okay, so it's going to get very confusing. The only way that we can not be confused, or to show a little bit of the truth, right, it's actually USD. I believe so. That means that we need to take a look at USD. Okay, all right. So this whatever the AI says is just nice. Okay, nice, but it's not useful to us. Okay, so what do I use as a key indication? Okay, my key indication that I want to have a look into the rate cut, and I believe it's actually dollar. That means to take a look at the strength of the USD via DXY. Okay, now this is DXY here, and I just want to go a little bit more into the higher time frame chart, and that's the month. Okay, to give you a bit of a sense, right, what is happening. That means that we're going to realign all whatever that's being said. That means all the news flow, right, and we're going to ignore the news flow. We just go on one fundamental concept, is that if there should be a rate hike, okay, that means if the rate is going to continue to be strong, okay, then what would happen to the USD? The USD is going to go up. Okay, why is that so? If the rate is going to be still high, still strong, then the bonds, the treasuries are still going to be attractive, and hence to buy the treasuries, then they need to buy USD first. Okay, so we talk about that the FX is going to be the forefront of the market action. Okay, because it's very simple, right? You want to go Japan, you have to change into yen. So you look at the yen movement, for example, okay, not the yen movement, right? You go and ask the money changer, oh yeah, what is the best selling currency? Oh, okay, then the money changer say, oh, it is the yen, right? So you know that a lot of people are going to Japan because to go to Japan, people change yen, right? Okay, so same thing, right? You want to buy treasury bonds, then you do have to buy the USD. Okay, now again, that if the rates are perceived as going down, then what will happen to the USD, right? The USD would be going down as well. Okay, it's the same rationale. Okay, so we have this concept here, and then we take a look into the monthly chart of dollar index. Okay, I cannot deny that if we were to see this as a high and see this level as a low, right? The high is about 120, the low is about 70 plus minus around there. Then somewhere around 100, or even somewhere around 112 or 108, all right, around this level here, it's going to set the dollar index, okay, as in the high versus the previous high of around this price here. Okay, all right. Now, but if you look at this, okay, that's one viewpoint here. Now, the other viewpoint is that the dollar index, so far, okay, has been actually making an uptrend here. Okay, if I were to draw in the trend lines or whatever levels that we have, right, you know that this is still an uptrend. It's not downtrend, okay, and it is not reversing yet. Okay, not only that, one of the things that I shared very in a lot of my sessions with my students, okay, because this is the once a year of market outlook, right? But I do a lot of different sessions with my clients, with my students. One of the things was being said was the extent of correction. Okay, you realize that historically, each time when the dollar index corrected, it's about this number here. It's either 16 or 18.7, plus minus around that, right? We can't be too exact, right? But then it's about that number, about 15.7, 16.7, in terms of the index value. All right. Now, so if you take this and then you ask ourselves the correction level here, it's around here. So we are in this either the 15% drop from the high to the low, which we saw similarity in here, all right, or we are in that 16, 15, 18% range, which basically tell us that this drop historically is almost like enough. I won't say that it won't go to a 20 or 30 points drop or percentage, but from what we've seen from 2009, which is the start of which is the US financial crisis, right, which is the start where there's a lot of money printing going on, and then the sort of the economic that we used to know, right, all changed because of QE, right? The rate of it dropping, it's historically that what we've seen in the past two times of its drop, seems to suggest that we are almost there already. Okay, in other words, it could be that the US dollar, this price here, it's actually a low point. Okay, that means that, well, it might be that in 2026, okay, like what the AI say, we're gonna expect a moderate rate cut. That means that US dollar might not be that weak, or that the rate environment might not be having an aggressive cut. We might be just a moderate, rate cut. Okay, and I would really be looking at the US dollar as a reference. Okay, any questions here on my argument that we almost reached a low point for the US dollar already? Okay, now I said to my community, okay, when I brought up the argument, okay, that the US dollar is almost near the low, I said before, right, it won't like, at once just bounce up like that, so a lot of time previously we saw that it went to a low point and retested that low point. It went to a low point, it retested that low point, and then it could be that this is the first time it might just wire a little bit, and then it might just come back down again to test that low point before it might just stage it up. But the thing is that it is not at the high. It is not at the high. It is actually near the low already. Okay, so that is my argument for US dollar. All right, again, that we talk about what is critical for US dollar, and this 100.27 level, which was predicted by Ted, was already brought to our attention so much earlier. So I've been talking about this level for as long as I've been talking about it, and one of the remarks that I make, right, was that the market does not like a strong USD. Okay, they do not like a strong USD. They actually like a weak USD, because I explained, if it's a strong USD, it means that Fed will not cut rate that aggressively. Okay, now if it's a weak USD, all right, again, that strong or weak is relative. So I mean, the market doesn't like a high value USD. If it's weak, then it just means that there is the market think that, okay, that there's a higher chance of actually having a rate cut, so they sell first. Okay, now if you look at what has been moving in 2025, the whole of 2025, right, the USD was weak. Okay, the USD was weak, right? And it's not the first time that Trump said that he wants weak USD, he wants rate cut. So it might be that he has been saying since the day number one, okay, and the market has already been trading the idea of a weak USD, okay, and coming to now, all right, it might be also that the weak USD has a trade has already been played out already, and weak USD has been priced in already, and hence, I do not know what's going to happen later on, right? I mean, as in FOMC or next year in March. I can only say that look out for this level here, which is 100.27. Okay, because so far 100.27 has been acting very well, and I also want to do a rollback again, right? But I just want to tell you that all these are all predicted much earlier. That means that it's like this level here, this orange level, right? It's predicted. Okay, it's a prediction for us, and it's there guiding us, right? It's not something that we come up with after it happened, but we know that as long as price doesn't close above this 100.27, then the USD, it would stay resisted. Okay, and it has a chance, right, for it heading lower. But what if it goes up? Okay, that means what if the US dollar index goes up to above 100.27? That means it breaks this high, that this was the resistance, right? It sort of like break the high, then it just says that the USD is going to strengthen. Okay, because I presented from the higher time frame argument, and it's just coming inside here, and my community knows about this important level. And then they're gonna ask, right, hey Binni, how do I know that it might be breaking higher? Again, that's the frustrating stuff, because this is the day chart here. Our system predicted the support level here, right? Again, that this level has been long time predicted, and the nasty thing is that before the FOMC is being trapped between two levels here, 1 and 2, so this level here and second level here, right? So it's being trapped between a support and a resistance, and really we need to see what happened in this FOMC, whether it's going to ultimately break below or ultimately going to break up. I know that I say like I'll never say, because again, right, it's hard for me. We are just looking at the price reaction here. But it doesn't mean that I don't have my own stand. I had my own stand already, and I presented that to my group. We're just going to see how that play out. Okay. All right. So meanwhile, my what I'm going to deliver in this particular section, all right, in the FX, is that watch for USD. Okay. Watch for USD and see how USD react. In that context of a rate card. Okay. Okay, I understand. I definitely know. Yes. Okay. Now, what I also like to talk about is, because of the flow of USD, some of you might ask me, right, hey, look, what happened to the Hong Kong market lah, what happened to the Chinese market lah, etc., etc. And this is something which I've been sharing, I've been presenting, which is a correlation between the dollar and the CNH, the offshore renminbi, right, versus the Hong Kong or the Chinese market. And I just do the correlation to the Hong Kong market. So below, underneath, right, is HSI, Hang Seng Index. On top, right, is dollar versus CNH. Now, so the whole idea is this. The money will flow to where the valuation is attractive. Okay, the money will flow to where where they perceive as having a potential profit. Okay, so this is something that we know. All right, now why is it important to take a look at the dollar versus the CNH? Because if we take a look at the higher price here, okay, so let's say this is 7.3. All right, what this means is that 1 USD, okay, every dollar that you have, right, you can buy 7.3 RMB, okay, worth of items, whether they are stocks or whether they are goods. It doesn't really matter. But the whole idea is that every $1, if you have the exchange of 7.3, then you can buy 7.3 RMB worth of items. Okay, in this case here, when we apply to HSI, for example, we're talking about stocks. All right, now when the exchange is low, let's say for example, right, at here, let's say we, for easy calculation, 7. So what this means is that 1 USD, all right, you can only buy $7 worth of RMB. Okay, wow. In that sense, it means that if the dollar weaken and the RMB, the CNH is strong, that means that for every $1, you can buy lesser, okay, lesser Chinese stocks. All right. Now, when the exchange goes up, when the US dollar goes up, then every $1 you can buy $7.3 worth of Chinese stocks. Okay. So there is a correlation here. What is the correlation? When the dollar is at the low, all right, then you find that the index is at the high. So this is the opposite relationship. Now, why is that so, right? Every $1 can only buy $6.7 worth of RMB and worth of stocks. Then of course, you don't want to buy, because then it means that the dollar is weak. I better go and buy the dollar, put the dollar in US, back into the US, my home ground, right? Okay, I'm not interested to go and buy Chinese stocks. That is the argument here. And when you see that, for example, the dollar is again at the high, then you find that generally, let me just choose a easier one to do, right? When it's at the high, okay, then the index is actually at the low. Okay, it's an inverse relationship. When it's at the high point here, right, in the zone, right, you find that it's generally pointing us to the low point. Okay, so this is that correlation. Now, let's talk back right now. Okay, we talk about right now, right? So when this is at the low, the index is at the high. Okay, when the money, the FX is at the high, the index is at the low. Now, the question right now is, right, is this at the low or is this at the high? Okay, so this is scary, isn't it? Because you would answer me, that this is at the low. Okay, all right, you will answer me that this is at the low. Now, the thing is that if you look at the relationship, when it starts to go up, the US dollar starts to go up, for example, then it means that the US will have more purchasing power, more money power to buy into products or stocks from from China. Okay, so as it starts to go up to the certain point, right, you will find that the market will be having the low point here. So the thing is that right now, what is happening to the dollar versus the CNH? It is actually at the low. So the market is at the high. Okay, we have this relationship right now. So let's talk about next year, or what the AI said. The AI said that, oh yeah, the rate cut is going to be moderate, blah blah blah. It's just going to implying, okay, that the US dollar might be heading to a high. Rate cut might not be that aggressive as what we think. All right. In other words, right, if the US dollar is going to be going higher, going up, then it means that these would be beneficial to the Chinese market, to the Chinese stocks. Okay, so we have to see ultimately, right, the USD going higher. So that's why I make the remark that December is probably going to be a little bit of a nasty month for the Chinese index, for Hong Kong index, unless that this FOMC is very clear. Next year, US, it's not going to have aggressive rate cuts. Or next year, they might pause the rate cut. Next year, they're going to slow down in terms of rate cuts. And this is going to strengthen the US dollar. And when we see the US dollar going higher to a certain point, then this is going to benefit the Chinese stock market. And that's why I said that next year, all right, somewhere during the Chinese New Year, maybe before, after, we might see some better news in the Chinese stocks. Okay, so this is the argument here. So it's very difficult from here for me to say what is happening to here, right? But I can only say that it is near the low. And then if you see history as a guide, like for example, this is a guide, right? Where $7 is a key support level for the US dollar, then we might have to suffer a little bit, hit that low, and then as it starts to go up, it's going to be a relief for the Chinese market. Okay, any question here? Okay, so it's not something that we have to watch the FX, because FX is going to bear a very, very important how to say it's going to be very important for us. All right, and the key level right now, as far as dollar versus CNH is concerned, we have to watch for $6.9 to $7. Okay, that is the number right now. All right, no questions. I'm just going to move on. Right. Okay, now the Go Japan, the Long Japan theme. It seems as if I'm actually joking, but I'm serious. So today, Sing versus yen is trading firmly above 120. It's doing 120.8. So good news for those who are going Japan. Bad news for those who have already changed money earlier. 2 weeks ago, I already said don't change too much already because the yen is going to weaken. So this is one currency which is dollar versus which is Australian dollar, Aussie versus yen, Aussie yen, right? Now I'm talking about long-term price movement, and again I want to keep this one short, Short means that short and sweet, because it's not the first time that I talk about it. Overall, you should find that the yen is still weakening. All right, not only that, the trend is up. Okay, not only that, right, recently I've shared, whether it's Aussie or Kiwi yen, they already break out of this consolidation pattern. Okay, they broke out of this consolidation pattern, and has been going much higher. Okay, of course, then yes, we do have a bullish signal here that sort of set our view, right? Or rather, what I think is that the yen it's going to continue to weaken. All right, now the reason why I bring up this issue here, right, is that Japan has traditionally been a funding currency. Okay, funding means that people borrow in yen, cheap, okay, negative interest or cheap interest, right? And then use it to invest. So there's a lot of there's some people talking about it of the unwinding of carry trade. That means that the whole carry trade is going to unwind, right? And they predict that there's going to be like a huge correction in the market. Okay, now number one, nobody knows in actual fact, even if you ask AI, right, how much is this carry trade? Actually, no one knows about it. How much, how huge, how extensive it is, right? Nobody knows. Okay. Number two, right, if you look at the whole of Japan economic condition, which I do not want to comment, except that I think half of the Singaporeans would be in Japan in December, or maybe in Jan as well. I think that when you are too immersed into having cheap money, right, and having this yen as a carry trade and taking the borrow cheap yen to invest in maybe the US market, right, or to buy US treasuries, it's very difficult to unwind and get out of it, because we've been so used to it for 10 plus years already. Okay, that means it's a habit, and it's where there's easy money to do. Okay, so going from technical side, that I think the yen will continue to weaken because of what the signal says, but I also want to get all of you to pay attention to the concept of carry trade. Now, if one fine day that the market is going to correct steep and it's going to correct huge, okay, then we need to know whether it is the carry trade that's playing a part here. Okay, all right, so few things to take note of. You want to know, all right, whether at the higher, okay, the previous high or the historical high, right, whether it can successfully break through. Okay, if it can successfully break through, right, then you continue to go Japan, okay, because it's gonna means that it's cheap. And also I know I only choose one pair here to explain, to talk about it. It is good to track across the other yen pairs as well, especially dollar yen. Okay, because Aussie yen is one of the stronger one right now. All right, but historically, traditionally, if Aussie yen is up, then it means that the market is actually still bullish. Okay, but do watch out for whether at the historical high here, whether it can burst through it. That means it can go higher, or we start to see some obstruction here at the historical high or near the historical high, and then you start to hear things like, oh, carry trade risk, or the stock market starts to correct aggressively, etc., right? Okay, then it's not very good news for the market. I said before, we need to monitor the FX to know the money flow. Okay, and this is very important. Now, in my community, I will monitor the FX for them. Okay, I will update them. All right, but I mean, because this is a public session, I do not know whether you are monitoring the FX, but do watch out for this. One question is, why is it good for US to be higher? You mean US dollar to be higher, right? I do not know why, but I only state that if the US dollar is higher, Okay, then the implication. What is the implication? All right, and my argument is that if the interest rate is not going to go down so much, I mean the rate cut is not going to be aggressive, then the US dollar would be higher. Okay, so to watch for this yen here. All right, any question on the yen part? So do ask the AI impact of carry trade, what carry trade means, etc. I think that the AI would be able to tell us this information correctly. Okay. Now, US dollar has an inverse relationship with the Hong Kong market. When US dollar strengthen, Hong Kong market should weaken. Actually not true. So when the US dollar strengthen, it means that the market, right? Anyone who owns the who owns the US dollar is now able to buy more Hong Kong. Okay, so for example, when you are here, right, $1 US can only buy 7.06 all right, worth of stocks. However, when you are here, 7.3, I know that the difference isn't that wide. If I just write 10 here, right, then you probably can immediately see it. So if I'm 7.3, then $1 US can buy 7.3 worth of Chinese stocks. So a strong US dollar is actually good because for the Hong Kong market, because that's when, right, you can buy more Chinese stocks. It's the same thing, right? Last time when we go to Japan, the Sing dollar versus yen, SGD versus yen, right? Okay, it was 80. For example, it was 80, right? Now right now it's 120. Now what this means that every $1 can get only 80 yen at that point of time, and now every $1 can get 120 yen. Let's say one bowl of ramen, right, is costing 1,200. Previously, right, we have to spend $10+, okay, or maybe like maybe $13-14. Now at the rate of 120, right, we only spend $10 for that ramen only. Okay, previously we have to spend maybe $15. Just give you a gauge here, 15 US Sing dollar. So this is the whole idea here. By right, when it's at the high, right, when this is at the high, right, the index is at the low. Okay, by right, but we also must observe the movement that when it starts to get up, okay, and that's where the drop will stabilize. All right. Yeah, that's why I made the remark, I think that half Singaporeans will be in Japan. 2 years ago was like that. Now even more, I think. So my friend who wasn't going to Japan, I was in Japan, Hokkaido in October, right? That friend followed me, and then now suddenly she told, oh yeah, December I'm going to Japan. Suddenly, and I also suddenly December I'm going to Japan. So it's like everybody going Japan. Yeah, so that's why I say go Japan as my headline. Okay, so let's talk about gold and silver. I do have quite a lot of things to share, and now it's 9:24, sorry. Gold and silver. Okay, same thing, right? AI. So AI say gold had a huge breakout in 2025, rising more than 50%. When you look at this, you say, oh, I'm so bored. This is AI, Yeah, I'm so bored. Expectation of Fed rate cuts, why it goes up, strong central banks buying, and geopolitical tension. Always, geopolitical tension and investors shifting into safe asset. Okay, I understand all this, okay? Well, I think the key thing is where you are asking is that, oh, can I buy more gold, right? How high can gold go up? Okay. Well, I am not going to discuss this today because I think that how high gold can go up, I already talked about it. I already sort of gave you the number, and I actually forgot what was the number okay already. Yeah, but okay, but anyway, one number seems to be at 5,005 if I'm not wrong. Did I remember wrongly? But anyway, if you look at the chart here, we had a bullish signal here, okay, and that's where it went all the way high, right? That was in 2024 after the huge consolidation. That was a long time, okay? So right now, later we're going to take a look at the gold later, right? In terms of the chart. But what I'm interested to talk about is actually silver, okay? And we want to take a look at the gold versus silver ratio. But before that, silver, we also had the buy signal here, that on the weekly chart, and then recently we also had some buy signal here on the 4-hour on the H4 chart, right? H4 chart and the day chart. But I want to talk about this concept here later. We take a look at the chart, huh? And this one was actually pulled from the AI as well. But I thought that this is quite useful information. And of course, that to pull from the AI, I have to ask the AI I have to prompt the AI. So I am interested, right, in the gold versus silver ratio. So the whole idea is that if the gold is a high gold versus silver ratio, then silver is undervalued. So somewhere along the value of 80 to 90, all right, sorry, somewhere along the 80 to 90 suggests that the silver is relatively cheap. Later we're going to check that. And then if you have a low gold versus silver ratio, somewhere around the 60 suggests that silver outpaced a gold a lot more already. So there's a potential for the pullback in silver. So apparently right now, silver is a lot more stronger than gold. And this is the concept that I've talked about already. But let me just go to the chart, right, and get you the gold versus silver ratio. Now to get that right, you have to go to trading view. You just type in the gold and then choose this, right, and then you get the gold here, and then go back and then key in the divide sign, okay, the slash, right, the divide sign, and then key in silver, all right, and then choose one and then press enter, and that's where you get the gold versus silver ratio. Okay, now I prepared this a lot more earlier, so you know, I drew in this equidistance channel here, right, and apparently there was a drop. Okay, apparently, I mean, it's a little bit too late, all right, because there was a huge drop, right, in terms, and a huge movement after it came down, right. But in any case, next time you can monitor. So that the market reacted very well to this equidistance channel here, all right, and somewhere around here was that the ratio exceeded 100. Okay, so the previous round was around here, and then it went flat, and then it was being pushed up, and then it exceeded 100, and it starts to plunge. All right, we also learned that, as what the AI said, around 60. Okay, so this is the level here, around 60. It's where we start to see the silver having the need to correct, and that's where gold is going to be relatively more attractive, right? Okay, but I do not think that it is around the 60 region. I think that it could be around this level here, where we are talking about 60 to 65 region here. Okay, that's where gold would outpace, or rather that's where you know that silver is a little bit overvalued versus gold. And this few days, right, has seen huge and fast and furious movement, okay, from that ratio here. And if it does get somewhere around here, right, And that's when I think that gold would gain that attraction again. Okay, that's where I think that gold might shine again. But it really depends, because if you take a look at gold versus silver, hang on for a while, yeah. Okay, so this is silver on a day chart here, right? And this one is on a day chart, for example. So this concept, I've already presented that already. And our predicted target for gold is about, for silver is about 63 for this particular movement. All right. But you see that as this is day chart here, right? At this point here, you see my vertical cursor at this point here, right? Both gold and silver had a correction. It went down a little bit, but gold did not break the high, okay? Whereas silver broke the high and continued to go up. And that's where it's outpacing gold right now, all right? But it's going to be good in a way if you look at it, right? Because it seems like gold is forming this, I don't know, cup and handle pattern or whatever that you call it. But again, it really requires a break up, right? Or breakdown. It depends. It seems that right now silver is more attractive, okay? But don't forget, all right, you would really want to be looking at silver when gold versus silver ratio is at near to 100. All right, right now it's actually near to the bottom, and that's where I think that we might come back into gold again, because gold is really in that consolidation. Gold is still in an uptrend. Let me just remove this one here. Gold is still in an uptrend, right? And pretty much gold is waiting for FOMC, I think. But one of the concepts that I say is that if it doesn't move down, it just go flat, there's a higher chance of it actually going higher. Okay. So we're going to watch for this consolidation. But the fact is, okay, the trend of gold is still pretty much intact. It's still upwards, all right? It's still going higher. And the retracement this time around is near the top. So I said before, right, the concept, right, if it's nearer to the top in terms of retracement, there is a higher chance that actually it might be breaking higher, okay? So the gold versus silver ratio, right? I think we should be seeing that the gold is going to shine again. Yeah. What is it, the chart that you want to see, Dexter? So buy physical silver can buy silver saving account for long term. I actually do not know whether you should be buying physical silver, but the only thing is that silver is a lot more heavier because of the cheaper price. Yes. And when silver was about 20 something dollars, I also bought silver, right? But it took up a lot of space in my safe for a lot of silver, and that was when I decided to give up and just to buy gold. Yeah, I will talk about the stocks later on. Yeah, ETSY later on. Okay, because I got a huge list of stocks, Okay. All right, so let's continue on. Yeah, I don't think I can finish at 10. 8:30 to 10 is 1.5. Maybe I can only finish at 10:30, okay? All right, so today is going to be like 2 hours session. I've got to bring my chocolate. Okay, Singapore and Hong Kong market. I sort of covered Hong Kong market already. So my conclusion on Hong Kong market is we're probably going to see a little bit of a boring movement. It's going to be, retracing, correcting. But I think that Singapore market is quite interesting. Okay, so everybody is just fixated on that $5 billion and how much has been spent and when they're gonna spend. No toilet break. My sessions have no toilet break one. I thought that you should be prepared. not to have toilet break. I told you already, I have a long list to go. Okay. So, okay, let's talk about the Singapore market, and this is the STI here. I just thought that we have a bit of a look into the STI, and this is one of the best performer, surprisingly. I have to use the word called surprisingly. Okay, now, so I will take a look at the live chart later on. What do we have in an STI is we have a break, right, of this huge mega, how many years? I think 15 years of a structure, maybe 14, 15 years, okay? In it, right, it looks like I don't know, maybe this is a cup and handle pattern, but definitely we have a bit of a inverted head and shoulder pattern, and then we have this one and whatever you call it. Anyway, it's a huge break. All right, it's a huge break out of this 3006 level. Now the question is, right, everybody knows about the huge break, but my question to you is that how high can it go? That's my key question. So let's try to make a guess, right? How high do you think that STI might go? Just guess. I think I need to give you the time, right? Maybe like 2026. By 2026, how high do you think that STI might go to? Any guess? No? Don't know? Or no feeling? Okay, I know that there's a little bit of a lag here. So let me just give you my prediction. Okay, so as I explained, right? Oh, 6,000. Okay, nice number. As I explained, right? Because this is like a inverted head and shoulder or something. All right. And then there's one more base here, something here, right? So a lot of time, I would usually do the prediction from the low point here to the high, like this, okay? All right. Some of you might ask me, why don't you want to go to the highest one, like that one here, right? I want to do a little bit more conservative first, okay? All right. Now, if I do this and I point this to the breakout point, like this agar-agar-agaration, right? Not very detailed. Okay, then it's probably going to give us a bit of a conservative number, which is 4,007. Are you guys all guessing in the 5,000 range? That means you are really very bullish. Or is it because the way that I asked and then you gave me the 5,000 and the 6,000 figure? Or is it that you are really very bullish? Or is it because of the $5 billion? Okay, whatever it is, right? So we have this conservative targets of about 4,007. If I were to take this number and then point to the breakout here, like this, the highest point here, then we might have the region of 5,000. Okay, all right. So that is a range here, 4,700 to 5,000, and this is more of the, I think near-term range. I think that I would say if really the remaining money it's slowly deployed, we might I would say we should, but we might move to that level. I don't know, it's just a guess. All right, now however, if we take the deeper one here, and then this one is the deeper one, and also bear in mind, right, so this is quite far away, a bit weak in terms of the prediction, but we just do it for the sake of it, right? And take this and then point to the higher point here, like this. That's where we have about the 6,004. Okay, 6,004, 6,003 level. So for those who guess 6,000, you aren't too far. Okay, I don't know whether you guess the number like 5,000, 6,000 because of you really think it's going to go there. But I have to say that we respect the technical. We look at it, right? And we just see how, okay? Because end of the day, if you were to see in terms of the day chart or the week chart or whatever chart you have, right, that you are seeing, then STI it's in an uptrend. You cannot deny that STI is in an uptrend, okay? Even if it's to come back down and correct, it depends on how far it will go down and how far it will correct, right? But as far as what I'm concerned, this is the support level by TED, and so far TED has been quite wonderfully well to predict the low point of STI. Okay, I can roll back, for example, around here. All right, we do have a prediction that it's going to come around to this place here, right? You see it goes up and then it retraces down, it stopped here around and it bounces up. Okay, so you see it stopped and it bounced up. So the prediction by TED in terms of STI is actually quite nice, quite well, been doing very well. So this is the key level here, 4467. Whatever it is, I know that there was a questions in terms of REITs, CF, REITs, ETF, bullish. I can only answer this, okay? If you take a look at the next index, NEXT. So what happened is that STI is an index, and then the ministers, or rather maybe the exchange or whoever, right, they wanted to promote or push the market to make the market more vibrant. So they wanted to push up, or rather they wanted to encourage more trading in not the STI stocks, not big caps, but the small caps, the mid caps, right? So they form another index, and in this index, a lot of stocks are REITs ETF. Sorry, REITs are REITs, not REITs ETF, are REITs. A lot of them. If I don't remember wrongly, it could be as much as like 20-30% of the next index. They are all REITs. Okay, so we talk about the deployment of 5 billion, and then it's being deployed for 1 billion, 1 plus, right? Nobody really knows the exact number, but anyway, it's around there. So it means that if that 4 billion or maybe 3+ billion needs to be deployed, right, then they have to be fitting certain purpose. You don't want to create the next index to drop, right? You want to create the next index to go up. So I won't be able to answer you whether it is bullish or not bullish, but I can only answer that, in the next index, there's a lot of, REITs inside. Okay. And again, that REITs is dependent on whether there is a low rate environment. But again, the other way to look at it is that, in order for things to move up, we need to have money flow, inflow of money. Okay, so this 5 billion, it's very important. And then if you're a fund manager, where would you deploy? You definitely will want to deploy in the next index. Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is how, I want to answer the question on whether REITs ETF is still bullish or not. Yeah. Okay. All right. You don't need a toilet break, right? We are not going to have toilet break. We are just going to continue. US stocks. How many of you think that US market in 2026 it's still going to be bullish? I gave you AI answer just now, right? AI gave a summary. How many of you think that it is still going to make new high, to break higher? On next, as in NEXT, next index, yeah. How many of you think that's going to go break higher? The reason why I ask this is because from TED, right, our prediction is that it is going right now at the resistance, at the optimal resistance, right? It's pending either a resistance or a breakout. Yeah. Okay. So generally we are still bullish, huh? Okay. Now, so I asked the AI again. I asked the AI again, right? I said, what is AI? What kind of stocks should I focus on in the AI? Okay. Because the AI, the data center, it's very huge words, big words, right? But I've been thinking about this one. I've been thinking, and I want to create a subset. Okay. So of course I asked the AI to give me something lah, but whatever I asked the AI to give, right, was a prompt by me, because I already have an idea of what I wanted to talk about and write about. Okay. So in terms of the AI, what we are familiar with, right, would be Nvidia lah, would be Google lah, you know, etc., etc. This one is paid chat GPT. Okay, they will share bias to give thing for the US buyers. Okay, but anyway, that's not what I'm trying to say here. So I gave certain prompt and certain things in my mind which I think so, and this is the 4 different AI related sector that I am interested in. So one is the semicon and the AI infrastructure. Okay, I'm not going to read it all out because all these are all written by the AI. The only thing that I gave the AI are the headlines. Okay, and the cloud and the data center would be something which which I think 2026 is still going to be important. And next time will be the AI related software, the AI agents and software related, whether they are packaged software or whether they are SaaS or whether they are cloud-based, right? That is in the AI area. It can be robotic, it can be, anything that where it helps with AI helping or something, right? And lastly, which is the cybersecurity. And the cybersecurity is actually very, very important because with all this AI stuff, it means that we are very prone to attack, right? So we really need AI cybersecurity. Okay. Now, so I prompted the AI to give me a stock list, right? That meets my criteria. So since I'm talking about in the US, I want strong fundamentals, high institutional ownership, and I want it to be trending. I want it to be aligned to the AI theme that I'm talking about. So I gave certain prompt, and what the AI did was to give me a list of stocks. Blah. Okay. Now I selected this list of stocks. It means that it's not that I do not agree or disagree. So these are stocks that I've selected myself, and I fed the AI with a list of watch lists that I have, and the AI fed me some other things and blah 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 blah. Okay, so we have the usual suspect. I'm just gonna go through the list with you. That means that the sector. First we're gonna talk about the I think that tech will still shine. I think that 2026 AI, semicon, AI related will still shine. Okay, later we're going to talk about what to look out for. Okay, so let me just complete this part first. All right. So what I did was to break them into sub-segments. All right. And the first one is AI infrastructure and semicon. So this one is something that you are familiar with. So we have Nvidia, we have Broadcom, and I brought up TSM, and TSM wasn't inside this list. I also don't know why. And we have AMD. Ahmad was also something that brought MU. Marvel recently had good earnings. And then we have secondary, for example, NXPI also recently went up so much after a tech signal a lot, okay, so I provide this list and the stock list would also be already included in our 1000 stock screener already inside there. Okay, so second part would be the cloud and the data center. So we have Microsoft, the username, Amazon, Google. Google was something that I brought up, Oracle, NVIDIA. And we have the data infrastructure, the software layer. Datadog was something that I brought up when it was still at a cheaper price, and we have Snow. MongoDB recently did so well from $200+ to become a $400+ in ANET. Okay. Then we have the enterprise AI software, the automations. We have Microsoft, we have ServiceNow, Salesforce, something CRM. That's something that we talk about today in the afternoon. Adobe, INTU, Palantir, UPath. UPath came out many times. It's also one of the software that is being used in a lot of government agencies, including Singapore government agency, and is also being brought up for the robotic side, the robot. And I happen to own this as well at the low side. Okay, also because of tax signal. Then we have Hubs, and we have a CrowdStrike. Okay. Then we have also some of these names, Cloudflare, Net, CrowdStrike as well again. Okay, and then we have I also added in what I think is very important, which is the data storage, hardware and memory storage. Definitely for the AI you need to have storage, and in fact that I've been going long Micron, MU, not now but in the past, last year, Pure Storage. We have Seagate, we have Western Digital. They're all doing very well. So this is one segment. Okay, so we're talking about a sub-segment, right? And I provide all this list to you. Now what I'm trying to say, right, is that actually it's very easy for you to ask the AI about the related stocks. Now it's a different world in terms of finding the stocks already. It's a different world. That means that right now I'm doing the CMFAS papers, right? And I just feed the whole paper into the AI, and then it tells me what are the things I need to pay attention to. It created study notes for me. The way of studying, the way of doing things, the way of research, it's all very different. Okay, it's not difficult to get this list here. Just run and prompt and you get it. Okay, so we have the robotic, which was hot right recently. So again, we have NVIDIA, we have Tesla coming out, we have iRobot, we have Rockwell automations, and then we have UPath coming in again, Zebra, and some other stuff, and that's it. Now, so we have a list, and then what's next? Isn't it interesting? So we have the whole lot of a list, right? And then what's next? So going to a market outlook where we are still bullish on the stocks, and we are still very much in the tech stocks, right? And we have the sub-segment of tech stocks. It doesn't really help us, correct? Because we have so many different stocks, and which one should I focus on? Because some of them have apparently ran already, some of them have not. What am I looking for? So this is the biggest question I have for you. All right, that means that, I mean, since we are doing this live streaming, you will be able to get this list. And in fact that I've asked the staff to key in the list already into the trading view, into the screener list, right? And we are going to monitor that. But the thing is that when you have all these lists here, then what are you going to do? Sometimes you just simply don't have time to go and monitor. But not only that, right? What are you going to do to get that entry? Okay, so this is my biggest question here. So that's why I asked, right? Now we have a list, and what's next? Now, 2025, I've been talking about one pattern. Can anybody remember or let me know what pattern was that? I've been talking about one chart pattern. Anybody? Because there's a bit of a delay in the streaming. That's why I'm not getting the response on time. Yes, so yeah, so Justin knows it's cup and handle. All right, so essentially the cup and handle pattern, right? It's one of the pattern that, okay, let me just draw this cup and handle pattern here, right? Okay, now we are talking about a 2025, which is AI, a 2024, which is AI, and it's still an AI. And that the US market, right, is high, okay, but it's been making new high. All right, you guys are thinking that it will go higher, but aren't you scared? Okay, I mean, my question is, right, are you not scared? Because it is at the high and it's been going higher. I know that high can go higher. So when you have the cup and handle pattern, right, what does it mean? It means that you are going for a stock that built the base. Okay, so this is your base building. Okay, why is it important to build a base, right? Because when you build a base, it means that they are active, distribution, which is selling here, and then a period of pause, and then there will be actually period where of it going up, and then that's where the accumulation comes in, right? Okay, so when you have this base building going on and for an extended period of time, the whole idea is that you are probably, if you're buying at the base. The base is always the one that's stronger, because what I wanted, right, is that every time for my purchase, I don't want to buy when it goes higher like that, right? Not saying that it cannot go higher, but it doesn't make me feel good, because at any one point of time, I'm afraid that if I enter here, I might be just catching I might just be the last one in the musical chair. So this is what I'm afraid of, right? So when you have a base building structure here, pattern here, it gives a lot more surety to say that you are buying the base and buying just before it comes out. And it does help in terms of holding on and being convicted to the trade. All right. So when you have a handle pattern here, and then that's where the system attempt to each time, which is TED system, right? Attempt to each time to buy or to point out for signals. Okay, signals at before it bursts up at the end of a correction. Okay, all right. So in other words, right, you have a list here. What's next is that you can go through the list, you can scan yourself, and then you can go and find out which stocks still build base. Okay, that means that you can be where you say, I'm interested in AI and I want the AI will not be able to go and find for you which are the stocks that build base. I tried this before already, it doesn't work. Okay, but you can say that, okay, which are the stocks, right, that are involved in the AI, in what area, what sector that you are interested in, right? And then you go and find out which are those that meet the rules. Okay, so for example, let me just get the bit. Okay, so for example, we talk about what stocks do you want to talk about, and then we don't waste it. Okay, ESTY is not wait, I clicked wrongly. It's not part of what I really wanted, but we just go there. It's one of those downtrend, but again, right, there is a little bit of a base building here. Okay, although it's not the most perfect base building that I wanted. All right, that's the base building here. Okay, so you are looking for this type of a rounded base building, and then you want to follow up, right, with an entry near handle. But the handle has a property that we need to note, is that it cannot come too low near to the base. Okay, it cannot go down too much low near to the base, right? And if, for example, for ESTY, although that they might, I use the word might because I'm actually not too sure. Okay, there might be a base built here, might be, right? But again, that the retracement, which is the low here, right, it gets too near the lowest point, right? It's actually not good. Why is not good? Because then it says that priced is not that strong. It's corrected a lot more downwards already, but it might just eventually go up, but it all depends on whether there is a buy signal for us. Okay, so my answer to you is that you have a stock list, right? Let's say, for example, the most recent one which I actually traded was this guy here, NXP, on the tech signal. Okay, so that was the tech signal here, right? So that was the bullish signal here. Okay, so same thing. What I was looking for was, I was looking for a base building. Okay, like that, base building here. Okay, so it did like one base building, and then it just went down. Okay, so in this down, right, what I'm interested is that it doesn't get too low near here. I don't want it to get too low near to the low, right? Because then it just says that it doesn't have strength. And I waited for that bullish signal to happen. Okay, that means that, I mean, what I have to do is that I can scan through my stocks and basically identify something that meet the base or feel like that this is the base, right? Then wait for it to come down, and then wait for a signal to tell us that, to tell me that the end of this, right, had already happened, and priced is moving higher. So I mean, for those who monitor the whole AI development, all right, so if you look at the list, right, NXPI was one of the semicon that's being mentioned in the list. It's mostly doing automotive related, but you know, with this signal coming in, and then if I'm still bullish on the AI and the semicon, then it became a very nice trade for me, and this stocks actually move up very, very nicely. Okay, so this is how, all right, I search for the stocks. Okay, that means that rather than giving you a market outlook where you are how to say, wanting to know what stock list or what stocks I'm going to talk about. Okay, this time round, what I did, right, was to give you the sector which I'm interested in. Okay, and I still think that it is the tech, and I still think that it is the AI sector. Okay, AI or spin-off of the AI. All right, and so what am I looking at? I'm actually looking for base. Okay, so as I said, right, path was a trade that I did, and I'm also looking for a base. Okay, so for example, if you take a look at this one here, so it was a base that built. This is a weekly chart, huh? So it was a base that's being built like that. All right, this was the base. Okay, now why was I attracted to it, right? Was because there was already a bullish signal here. You see this one here? Okay, all right, so I first look at this one here, and then I say, oh yeah, there was a bullish signal, right? So with the AI, with free AI, it can be Google, it can be DeepSeek, it could be Alibaba, it could be ChatGPT, or whatever you want to name it, right? I'm very sure if you key in this one and then they will be able to let you know, right? Oh, this one is involved in AI related or robot related or whatever. Okay, so all these are all available to us as information. You don't need a stock list. But what you need, right, is an entry to tell you where to enter. So I think that this is what you need. You get what I'm trying to say here? Okay. And what am I looking at, right? I'm looking at that cup, that base building here. All right. But what TED, right, has is that TED gives you that signal of that handle. Now, this is what TED is doing here, right? It doesn't gives you the base building and tell you that this is the cup, because it's not accurate. What TED does is that it gives you that end of this retracement, which is that handle here, right? Okay. So when in fact, that when path went up, it was a long one because of earnings, and then the signal came in. But there will be also other cases, like when I traded NXPI, for example. It did the same thing. All right, so this was that little bit of a big cup or small cup or whatever you call it, right? And it went down into that correction. So what you want is that we want that base building, which you can recognize, and you want TED to point to you that when it's doing that downward movement, where this downward movement has stopped and it wants to go up. Okay, all right. So this is what TED is doing at this moment. It's to give us a scan. So for example, I have the scanning list here, right? Okay, of 1,000 stocks. So I have 1,000 stocks here, and then TED would scan that. So in fact, that for the list that I've posted and I included, right, I've already included that inside the list. Okay, so you have the list. For those with Top Pro, you will have the list. Today it's being updated again. So we will be monitoring that whole set of a stock list that AI came out for us, which I agree with it, okay, because I cleaned that up. I cleaned up the list, right? So what I think as the market outlook for you, for myself also for you, right, is to be able to be notified and to find that entry point. And I think this is more important, okay, because the world has changed. The world has changed such that information is now in an overload stage. If we do not know how to use all these tools to make money, then we are not very clever. So we will have the list. We will definitely have the information. For you, it's all about finding the entry. Okay, so you can build your own stock list. Okay, you can go to the AI, you can build your own list. All right, and definitely that's the whole thing that you need to do. And I think it's not about knowing what stocks that it can move. It's about knowing from this session the process of making your own income or trade or whatever. All right, your own money. Okay, all right, okay, but that doesn't stop me from highlighting the key features of TED. Okay, so TED can produce the bullish and bearish signal. As you can see, it scans thousands of stocks depending on your paid whether you have this paid plan from TradingView. Although that, yes, we are moving the signals also to Discord and Telegram, and we are enhancing the signal such that it will only scan, all right, stocks that are near to the base. Okay, that means that they have formed base and the signals happen near to the base. So to answer this question, it doesn't check for cup and handle. Okay, but the next development is that it is able to look for signals and scan for signals that is very near to the base. Okay, that is our objective here. The next development is that okay, I will announce the next development later, right? And it has predictive levels. That means the levels are predicted. It gives profit target and is a multi time frame tool. That means that you can use it for stocks, use it in a day or a week, or can use it in the trade in the FX or the gold or anything, right? Even the crypto, and that's in the lower time frame, like the 1 hour, the 15 minutes, or the 4 hour. Okay, all right. So these would be the key features of TED, and we produce a video. If you're interested, then you can go and watch this video there. All right. The stock screening list, the one that I provided, they're all included in the 1000 stock list already. I'll answer MongoDB later. That was one of the pain, right? So every time it's being screened and scanned, it would generate signal. All right, signal and to be sent to the email. All right, so that's what the students are doing. But if you do not have the paid plan for TradingView, then we do build in the screener table to use for free, right? But do note that this is the free version. All right, the screener table, the table that you see is a free version. So whatever is being restricted by the TradingView plan. Okay. Okay, I will do a Q&A, but let me just finish this one first. To make a little bit of an announcement before I answer your questions on the various stocks that you asked me. Okay. Okay. So yes, we do have courses. If you want to get TED, then you have to do the Tor Pro course. All right. Right now we only have 2 courses. Then this is the Tor Pro. So in Tor Pro, we will teach you how to use the TED strategy, the strategy that we talk about. Including how the levels are being predicted, how to look at trend when trend changed, how to look at the optimal levels, and then how the buy signals or sell signals are being created. So it's not a black box, but TED itself will be given to you as well. Okay, so this is our course offer here. I want to talk about the course offer because this one is a very, very important slide. For assisting students who have taken Tor Pro, it might not be too relevant to you, but don't go away because I'm going to make an announcement and that will be very relevant to you. Okay, currently as of this month here, Tor Pro is still selling at $1,500 for the course. As I announced, the price will increase. So starting from 5th of Jan, the price will increase to 2,500 to 3,000. Okay, the exact number hasn't been determined yet, but it will be in this range. So we made an official announcement already as of today. Okay, next, what is being included in the package is a TED strategy. Then we have a 12 months hand holding, and then we have a complimentary 12-month TED. However, if you pay via cash or internet banking, you get 1 extra month. Next month when you come, right, that means in Jan, not only that you have an increase in price, you won't get the extra 1 month. Okay, last month we extra 3 months because I made a mistake. Okay, actually it should be 1 month already, right? Okay, so this month in December is the extra 1 month. So I'm just trying to tell you that if you want to take it quickly, take it now. If you have friends who want to take it. Okay, so the official announcement has been made here. Now there is a cashback deal, and the cashback deal of 1,500 will officially end on 30th of December. That means no more. All right. We do not know whether there will be any cashback deal or not. And if there is, for sure, the amount will be lesser than 1,500. Okay, so next year we're going to see an increase in the cost fee and as well as a decrease in the cashback. Now the cashback is a $1,500 Sing dollar cashback to your trading account as cash, huh? And it includes also reimbursement to your trading view essential plan that's worth 155.40 USD. The total amount is $1,709. It's applicable to new and existing 8CAP customer. But you must use our link. Later, I will just put the link up there. You must fund $7,000. You must meet a minimum. You must fulfill a volume of 45 lots in 6 months, and you must open an account before 30th of Jan. And if there's anything, you can contact 8CAP. All right. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is that I will just send this one up there for you to register the course, or otherwise you can scan the QR code. All right. Don't take too long if you are interested, because as I make the official announcement here, the price will increase already. This is not a threat to a push to ask you to sign for the course, but as you sign next month is better for me because I earn more. Okay, now this is our hand holding time. So for Top Pro, you have this special session with me where you can use it to clear your concept, and this is a 1-year session. Okay, and you have this one here, which is a 1-year hand holding as well. Okay, that's where I'll also be talking about the market, be updating on what's happening. Now, next, what we are going to focus in 2026 is this word called sustainable income. Okay, that means that the focus would now be very much to and move towards income generating, meaning that it will be using certain tools, and that tool that we will focus on next year is called options. It's not known to many people, but I actually trade option when Apple stocks before the split. Okay, sorry, I just give you when Steve Jobs held the first iPhone. Okay, I was already trading options. So not many people knows about this. All right, partly because I wasn't also doing options as well. I wasn't teaching options as well. However, as I reach a certain age, I realized that things changed physically, mentally. So now I think that starting 2026 is a very important change in number for me. Okay, I know that you know what you mean, right? Change in number for me. So I want to focus on this sustainable income. Okay, so this is one of my managed accounts. All right, meaning account that I managed, all using tax to do, and all using option strategy, simple, not very difficult option strategies to generate income. All right, and I show the left hand side, right? I show it last month. So sorry, last month was November, right? So I show October development or October performance. Okay, so it was doing about 91%, and then and this is one of the a little bit more aggressive account, because October we were up, and then November we were down. But you see the drawdown is actually much lesser than each of the up months, and then we quickly recovered already. That means we quickly recovered what we lost in November. All right, but also December is a time for me to go holiday so that's why it won't be very stunning also. But it's a very nice up curve, and this is actually using TET and using the strategy. All right, now this is also another one account which is slightly bigger accounts. It's a little bit on the more slightly conservative side. Okay, year to date we are doing about Last in October we're doing about 86%, and then now we're doing about 77%. The profit went down a little bit more, okay, a little bit, right? But then we had only 1 month of a negative drawdown, okay. So in 2026, we are going to form a small group friend club. You all want to join my friend club, right? Yeah, so yes, in 2026, we will be announcing officially that we will form a small group face-to-face friend club. And we aim to grow the sustainable income for you, with you, at approximately a conservative range, which I put X. I initially wanted to put 20, but I thought that maybe 20 is a little bit not a representative number. So I put X so that you can go and think about it. All right. So we'll be announcing this new friend club. Okay. It's gonna be a small group. It won't be a big group, so that you received you received how to say, very very close guidance, and we will structure it a little bit different, because we will see through. Yes, you have to pay, and you have to pay quite a hefty amount. I already announced the number. We will see you through to cover back to make that X% per annum. Okay. It has to take a little bit of a time, but we are expecting that you will come out with this friend club. You will come out alongside with the next revision in TED. The next revision in TED will include scanning where it's near to the base, will include the strike price, the calculated strike price on where to sell the options. That means that, all of that would be out already. And then I would take you through, okay, on what to do at 10:30 or sometimes 9:30. Yeah, okay. So that would be a major development for us, and it's a face-to-face, no online session. Yes, it's a face-to-face, right? So that would be a major development for us, right, coming in 2026. And for those who have been with us for TerraSits for 20 years, or maybe for 15 years, or for 18 years, this would be a huge major announcement. All right. Yes, direct small friend club, and could be 5, could be 7, around there only at one point of time. I do not have any details for you, but it's definitely not going to be cheap, just to let you know. But that also comes with that we are committed to help you grow that X%. Yeah, help you grow that X% per annum. Yeah. All right. And that's all for me today. So it's about 10:30. We all need to go and take that handphone out already, huh? All right, never mind. I just flashed this again for you to sign up for Tor Pro. All right. So if you're interested to sign up for Tor Pro, please remember to scan and do it before the 30th of December. I do not have any details of the friend club right now, but it will be a very closed hand holding. All right. Certain things has to come true, including the tech programming, including quite many things. Yeah. So 2026 there will be a lot of changes, a lot of new developments in 2026. It would be one of the major change that we had in my career. Yeah. Okay. So no friend from BJ is in Malaysia, right? Yeah, if you're in Malaysia, you're even better. Yes, that's even better. Yeah, we are going to hold the session face to face out of Singapore, like a group tour travel. not Japan, but then, you know, out of Singapore. You know, Singapore is too busy already. We go elsewhere. Okay. So if you are interested, sign up for the Tor Pro because the price will increase. It's good. Yeah. If you look at the trades that we are doing, if you look at oh, Regina, you're here. Friend, okay. Tor Pro is the correct cost to sign up right now. Yes. Correct cost to sign up. Yeah. At this moment, before we announced the option costs, option getaway, yeah, option cost or whatever you call it, huh? I call it the friend club. Yeah. FC, friend club. Yeah. So it will be conducted face to face and out of Singapore. Yeah. So it will be a very, very different program. Okay. Any other question? So next year, TED would see a huge revision again. Oh, because we revised TED, TAD, and then after we went to TED, right? And then now, this time now, it's going to go for a huge, big revision. Yeah. Okay, no other questions. I'll see you. Probably for my students, I will still see you tomorrow. Tomorrow has a combined session. It's at 9, 4:30 session. It's sort of like merged with the 9 o'clock because tomorrow I have something to do at 4:30. My friend from France came back, so I have to meet her because she's actually because I'm actually flying. Yeah. So that's why I merged that 9 to the 9 o'clock session, not 9 o'clock. Yeah. You don't need to use ACAP to trade. You can use any broker to trade. But if you do want to get the cashback deal, right, then you have to get an ACAP account. But you can use any broker to trade. Yeah. But since they give you the cashback deal, I mean, why not, right? If you are like also trading. Yeah. Okay, so the 7,000 is in Sing dollar. I think I saw a question just now. Sing dollar 7,000, and that if you can't fund 7,000, then you don't get the cashback law. Yeah, the cashback is not something where you must get. Yeah, the cost is itself. The cashback is cashback. Okay. The new tech features be included for current subscribers, the options, strike price you mentioned, etc. I haven't decided yet. Okay. But in my usual style, I think it will be. All right. So, but I cannot promise you. Okay. So I actually do not know, but I don't think that I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not sure. No new promo for renewal of Tab Pro. Don't have lah. Already promo already. After getting the cashback, do we still need to keep the $7,000 in the account? This is something very sensitive. Okay. Actually, I'm supposed to flash this chart here. So you are serious in learning from a community, don't abuse the goodwill. So the cashback is actually a goodwill, right? Of course, the broker will love that you trade with them, but there is no clause to say you cannot withdraw. But you know, they give you that $1,000 cashback. They also hope that you can earn from you can trade with them, right? Yeah. So don't abuse the goodwill. If you intend to just take the course and then get the cash back after they close the account, it just doesn't look good on us. Okay. Previously, just to let you know, the volume requirement was only 2 lots, 2 standard lots. But because a lot of people abuse it, so from there it just zoom 45 lots. Yeah. So that's the story behind. Okay. I just thought that if you are interested to join us, sign. this is the last month to get the very attractive price and the very attractive package. All right, because starting from 5th of Jan, the price will go up to the range of 2,500 to 3,000. You're almost paying double. Okay, and with no cashback of 1,500. I think shouldn't there's no restriction in terms of a withdrawal. Just put it this way. Yeah. So no more promo already, huh? No more promo already. Don't have any more promotion. All right, the price next year will all increase, and the friend club will not be cheap as well. But you will love the offer. Yeah, the friend club offer, you will love it. All right, so I need to go for my another friend club already, and I see you, some of you, when I'm back from holiday in Jan 2026. With this, wish all of you a very happy holiday, and then very important, be very happy, be very happy and be very healthy, and be wealthy. 5-figure huh? Already gave clue already. Yes, Valerie, 5-figure already gave the clue. You will love the deal also. Yeah, I've never given a bad deal, so even though it's a 5-figure, you will love the deal. Okay, thank you very much. Bye bye, good night.